Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
All of our guests today, including Dan Milstein, standing by, are sponsored by Basant Motors. Don't love your vehicle? Let Basant Motors help get you into one you do. Learn more at Basant Motors, BASANT Motors.com. Dan Milstein, hockey agent, Gold Star Hockey. Among his clients, Ilya Mikheyev, Canuck, Andrei Kuzmenko, Canuck. The list goes on, and the newest Canuck, Vitaly Kravtsov. And Dan joins us now for what? The third time in the last week or so. Dan, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Hey, Dan, what are the Canucks getting in Vitaly Kravtsov?
They're getting a young player who is highly talented, highly skilled, with a great hockey sense, who, under the right opportunity, would become a superstar player.
Was he getting the right opportunity in New York with the Rangers?
He's appreciative of his time in New York, and of course, but it was time to move on. We worked hard over the last 2 months or so, and found him a great home in Vancouver.
Are there areas of his game that he has to work on?
Well, of course. Look, even I had Pavel Datsuk at the age of 42 years old. Pavel would call and constantly ask for the video and any information to improve his own game. So, and he was nearly the perfect all-around hockey player. So, of course, everybody has something to work on. And I'm sure that, and I know for a fact, Vitaly knows what he needs to work on in order to become the player that we all know he can be.
Hey, Dan, the Canucks have been after Kravtsov for over a year. How did this all materialize here in the last few days?
Well, I'm not sure about how long they've been after Vitaly. I mean, obviously, he's a great, a good player who's young and got a career ahead of him. But obviously, there's been an interest, a high interest for quite some time. The way I understand it, the price was a little bit high at the time. And Patrick Allvin, the credit goes to the Canucks. I mean, they worked hard, and in the end, I think they got themselves a very, very, very good player at below the market price.
Dan, change of scenery. It's not the first time one of your clients, all agents have guys that need a change of scenery, and then they go there and they flourish. This change of scenery for your client, how long has it been in the mix for you, Dan?
We've been working with the New York Rangers for a little bit of a time. So we've had on and off conversations for closer to 4 or 5 months or so, and I'm glad that we were able to make it work. And obviously, we made a list of teams. Once you're a restricted agent, it's difficult to command where you end up going. But obviously, Vitaly and I identified a few clubs where we felt he could take his game to the next level, and Vancouver was at the top of the list. And just worked hard, and in the end, it worked out 2 days ago.
He's got friends on this team. Who are they?
Well, he knows all the Russians, but some he played on the national team. With some guys he played with or against in the KHL, and so he's obviously he knows them all, and they have great relationship. Every time Vitaly was in Vancouver with the Rangers, they would get together and vice versa. So I think this would be a great opportunity for Vitaly, and he would be surrounded not only by the Russians but by the rest of the team and the management, the coaching staff. I think the new Vancouver Canucks are into development, and they'll help him to take their Vitaly's game to the next level.
We're talking with Dan Milstein. Dan, you said a couple of answers ago that he has areas of his game he has to work on. Would Vitaly be willing to work on those areas in Abbotsford in the American Hockey League?
Well, he's definitely. Well, I don't think he can go to the American Hockey League because he's on a one-way contract. In order for him to go down, he would have to be put on waivers. And rest assured, if he was to be put on waivers, there'll be plenty of teams that would take him. So he's going to be He's going to be working with the coaching staff, and he's going to improve his game, and we'll see good things on ice.
He'll be an RFA in the summer. Do you expect any issue with negotiations?
Well, you know how negotiations go. So, well, I think it's something that as long as both sides are willing to work together, we'll do the best that we can. So I can assure you, we'll extend the olive branch, and then hopefully we'll do a good, reasonable deal that's going to satisfy both sides.
Okay, moving on here, Dan. One of your other clients with the Canucks is Ilya Mikheyev. What can you tell us about his health?
He's obviously had a surgery on March the 2nd. He's back in Vancouver. He is at the gym at the stadium every day, working with the rehab people, and he's in very good spirits. He is excited for the next season, and he just can't wait to get back on ice, which should happen hopefully within the next couple of months or so.
Okay, another one of your clients on the Canucks. I'm not going to go through the entire Canucks roster here, but let's focus on your clients here, Dan. Andrei Kuzmenko, he gets benched, told to work on his conditioning, and it looks like he came back stronger. Did you agree with the way the Canucks handled your client?
Well, of course I did. Look, we've had numerous conversations with Andrei, with the coaching staff, with the general manager, the assistant general manager, with the president and stuff. So behind the scenes, I'm one of those guys. I'm always available by phone. It doesn't matter who or where. Even if you call, I always answer the call. And so we worked with the team. Obviously, we knew what needed to happen, and Andrei was fully aware of it. And in the end, as you can see, it worked out. I know you guys stir up a lot of BS in the media, but I'll just leave it at
Whoa!
like all of a sudden it was the bold coach that was in trouble. It was everybody else's fault. But I think we can all agree that the 2 weeks or so, a week and a half or so of what happened worked out, and it's going to work out long term. Because look, this isn't a sprint; it's a marathon, step by step. It takes time in order to achieve the greatness. Even the greatest players, and going back to Pavel Datsyuk, he was told no 657 times. He was not selected in the first year of the draft, wasn't selected in the second year of the draft. He went in a sixth round, 171st final year. I got a client, Igor Sharangovich, New Jersey Devils. Same exact story. He was drafted at the age of 20 and 140-something. Nikita Kucherov, second round, 58. The list goes on and on and on. And so hockey, you can't say that you have achieved anything until you have arrived. And your arrival point is when you hang your skates up and then move all of your words into the basement and start telling people about the good old days when you used to play hockey. Until your last game, you're there, you're improving, you're working, you're progressing, and you're constantly learning the game and perfecting.
Dan, you got an important client in Abbotsford as well, Klamovich. Have you been told that there's a possibility of him playing his first NHL game the rest of the way here? Because the Canucks are out of the playoffs. They might as well try and play as many young kids as they can.
Well, it's not about getting one game opportunity, right? I mean, we've seen so many guys that come in, get their 5 minutes of fame, and they never see the NHL ever again. It's all about the right development. I can tell you that the Sedin brothers have been instrumental. They've been working with Danila quite a bit. He has improved a ton this year. Obviously, there is more work to be done. And Danila knows that this isn't about a 5 minutes of fame one time. Hopefully, when you get to the NHL, you're on a one-way ticket and you never go back. So it's about the proper development at this point in time. He's very young. He's got his career ahead of him. And once again, this isn't a sprint. This is a marathon. He will get there. I promise you, he will be an NHL player. But our goal and the goal of the Vancouver Canucks development staff is to make sure that he's there forever.
You brought up Datsyuk a couple of times here. Is he making a comeback? Can you tell us?
No, Pavel at 43 was still one of the better players. But a year ago, he just decided, or last season, he decided to hang him up and enjoy life. Not because he couldn't play anymore. It's just kids are growing up and he wanted to spend more time with his family. But looking back and celebrating his career for for what it's worth. I mean, just the lessons that I've learned along the way are instrumental in giving advice and working with the younger guys.
One of the greats. Hey, Dan, thanks for doing this. We'll talk to you next week, okay?
All right, well, you never know. Something else might happen in the next 24 hours. And you
come on.
me back on.
Come on, Dan.
Yeah.
Don't sit on it. Let it loose. What are you working on?
I ain't saying anything. I'm kidding, guys. But in this day and age, and over the next week, you just don't know what's going to happen. So, we're just working hard, and hopefully, good things will happen. And but look, you should be excited. I know that the media, you guys are there to trash the current team and all that, but but look, good things will happen. Just you got to be patient, right? The championship teams aren't built overnight and stuff like that too. And so just be patient. Good things will happen.
We appreciate it, Dan. All the best.
Thanks for having me on, guys.